back. WNST, Towson, Baltimore. Baltimore Positive. You're hearing the new music we have or the fresh liners. I am 24 hours away from a fresh Baltimore Positive logo. It's our 25th anniversary. We are celebrating. And where else would I celebrate than in Dundalk? And what else would I be doing other than giving stuff away? We will have scratch-offs in the Maryland Lottery, courtesy of Roz and John Martin of the Maryland Lottery, joining us not just on Thursday from 11 to 4 at Costas, but again on Friday at Drug City from 11 to 4 as well. I have my fountain shirt on here from Drug City. We're going to be above the fountain, drinking Big Boy milkshakes, eating some sandwiches on Friday. I have like tons of legendary people in my life, people that helped us build WNST over the years. Our friends at Window Nation are helping us build as well. I'm 1 year out on having my windows as of August 8th, 86690 Nation. Make sure you take care of them. And last but not least, Leonard Raskin of Raskin Global, who has given me, and I'm going to use this for the very first time on my 25th anniversary. It is the Raskin Global Crab Claw with a very special handy dandy bottle opener on the side. John Martin joins us now from the Maryland Lottery. Listen, I know you're giving over $1 billion away in Mega Millions. But I got to say this for my 25th anniversary. I want to give you some reasons to come out to Costas and to Drug City, because I know you're a baseball fan. We don't agree on much. Can we agree that this was a great sign in 1996? Can we agree on that?
It was ahead of its time, but it is a wonderful sentiment.
So listen, I have Spank the Yank signs. Now, I do have Clobber Cleveland signs. I found a handful of them from 96, 97.
I understand it.
I'll have that out. We have the No Way Irsay signs from
Ooh.
2006. This was a good one. This is on the back of the defense sign, which we were pretty good at in 2006. We have the Wacko for Flacco generation here and the C. Joe throw. He won a Super Bowl. I don't know if you're – they tried to take it away from him, but he really won it. We have the Ray 252 legendary Believe in Joe signs that we handed out at one of the WNST Stories of Glory down in New Orleans. We have the Baltimore Loves Cal signs that we had in the 2007 Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown. And last but not least, I Believe in Steve, and that was for Steve McNair back in 2006. So we have – 28 years. Some of these are longer than WNST's been here. So come on out. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's like watching history just flash right before my eyes. I thought this was the big one. But no, that is great stuff. You know what else is great stuff? $1.25 billion.
Well, I'm hoping that Costas sells that ticket on Thursday out of the big machine
be a hoot?
When I'm there.
Wow. I think there'd be free crabs
for
everybody.
We need $1 billion Dundalk winner, and not from the Patapsco side or Sparrows. I'm talking Dundalk proper, the right side of Merritt Boulevard.
Just point someone out in the crowd. Just go ahead. When we're there, to point them out, and I'll make sure that we do the hocus and pocus, and then we all get let off to jail.
My wife sent me into the Royal Farms the other day to buy tickets. So I did the machine for the first time and did all that. And I multiplied because I listened to you because I didn't want to be that fool that only won 1 million and not 4 million because I didn't buy it. Run me through how crazy this is from a lottery agency standpoint, because this might be the biggest one you and I've had. And we've been doing this a couple, 3-4 years now. Like we're getting into rarefied air, right? We're a week or two we are from all-timer, right?
We are, but sometimes we tend to forget history. But let me start right where you left off, because people did not pay attention and not heed my words. We had 2 winners last night of what we call Tier 3. Now, Tier 1 is the big prize. Obviously, no one won that because it rolled up to $1.25 billion. Tier 2 is when you get the 5 white balls, but you missed the mega plier, or the mega ball, and that's $1 million plus multiplied based on the multiplier. Multiplier last night was 4. No one won that. But in Maryland, we had a bunch of Tier 3, bunch meaning 2 winners. One at Pantry One Food Mart in Annapolis, and the other at South River Colony Exxon, and they both won $10,000. Neither of them spent the extra buck to do the multiplier, and so they missed out on a $40,000 prize. So they got $10,000, they're happy, but if they'd spent another buck, they would have had $40,000 top prize. So that's the importance of the mega plier. And when you look at historically where we are, it wasn't that long ago. November of last year, we had a $2 billion jackpot. So yeah, the jackpot has been higher on the Powerball side since we've been speaking. But and even last year we had a $1.5 billion or $1.3 billion mega jackpot. So yeah, we still got a little ceiling room here. And if it doesn't get hit Friday, I don't even know what the calculation would be for next week. But right now, again, people should continue to play responsibly. It only takes one ticket to win, and we hope you have some fun and enjoy, and give you a chance to dream about what might happen
Well,
and how many crabs could you eat if you had $1 billion.
because I have an FCC license and I'm here to serve the people in the community, I want the community to know that if that ticket is sold in Maryland, that means a lot to, like, the state makes a lot of money if somebody wins here, as opposed to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, wherever, California, wherever the winner would be. Like, the state gets a huge chunk of money
Oh,
if the
absolutely.
state gets lucky when a ticket is sold here, right? Literally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the new calculations for the 1.25 prize, but yesterday when it was 1.1 million, obviously if people want to spend 30 years to get their money, they can do that. Most people don't want to do that. So the cash option has been typically about half of that. And then after taxes, you take another chunk. But the state of Maryland, will probably at 1.25, would stand to win somewhere in close to $50 million of
Wow.
tax revenue. And yeah, that counts. That all counts. So
Well, Wes
there's
is out squirting everybody in his squirt zone this weekend. I hope
well,
he has another 50 million to spend on the people here. John Martin is the executive director of All Things Maryland Lottery. We have fun with John on a weekly basis. I know John's taking a little respite. Doug's going to be joining me. Might even get Roz on. There's a rumor that Greg from Northeast might be coming out for the 25th anniversary. He's in the upper 1% of callers in the history of WNST, and we're rolling out history here. You guys have had your 50th. I have my 25th going on. I think every night we sort of see it. And the home run riches thing, as the baseball thing picks up, we had trading deadline. I've already shown Spank the Yank sign. Out of respect to you, I don't have the Clobber Cleveland signs, but I'll have those next week for you. But I would say the home run riches thing, being in front of me and in front of baseball every single night, this is as fun a promotion this year for the lottery being in front of people every day, because more people are watching the baseball team every single night. And every time Gunnar bombs one, or Anthony Santander, Tony Taters is what we call him around here, hits one, he's winning money for people. It's fun.
It's fun, and you're right. But a lot of times, what happens is people lose sight of what the actual home run riches ticket is all about. It's a fast play ticket for $5. It's a progressive jackpot, which means every ticket, if it's not a winner for the jackpot, contributes a couple pennies into the pot, and the pot keeps growing. And last week, on July 31st, we had a fast play home run riches winner of a progressive jackpot. A $5 spend returned $82,478 as a progressive jackpot
That's
top
even more
prize.
than the 10,000 or the 40,000 that they would have had that you talked about earlier. That's
Yeah,
82,000. That's a lot of
that's
thousands.
that's a lot. That's a lot. So while it's fun to do the home run riches contest, it's fun to get caught up in the contestant of the game and the chance to win $50,000 when a home run is hit. But boy, $82,478, that's nothing to sneeze at.
I'd
That's a
waste
pretty
all
good.
that going to see Bono and U2 in Vegas, is what I think I would do with that.
Well, you might. Hey, we've got great winter stories at
All
mdlottery.com,
right, who's happy
and
this week? Who came in?
there are some great stories, and let
Do we
me
have
just
a
share a
bus
couple.
driver? Last week we had a bus driver, and that gave me some honeymooners references. So I want a good story this week,
You know
John.
what? There are a couple of them, and they all come into the category of feel good stories, which is what at the end of the day we hope as a lottery that people have feel good experiences.
Well, you give
Um,
money away. How can that not feel good?
Well, we have a gentleman here, and was heeding some advice from his friend who said, "Hey, when you pick a game, a scratch-off game, stick with it. Don't be bouncing around. Stick with it." And so that consistency paid off for him. He'd been winning a little bit on a gold bar bingo game, um, but a couple here, a couple there. Last week, let's see what Prince George's County, uh, walks into TNT Liquors in Bowie. Gold Bar Bingo wins $50,000 because he stuck with that plan, and he's going to put that money away for a rainy day. Good on him. But that's a great feel good story when people
Well, I hope he does something
have some
nice for
fun with it.
himself, buys a dinner or something. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. And here's another one that I think is, again, a fun story to have. As you know, we talked very briefly about it. We're running a scratch off ticket called Corvette Cash, where there's a $50,000 top prize, but people can enter their non-winning tickets and win up to $150,000. And we gently nudge them in the direction of they could buy their own Corvette at that
Well,
point.
absolutely. I was going to say the 67 Corvette, we went through this. I went through
Yep.
this with Seth a couple months ago, and that's my wife's Corvette. Like, so if we hit the big one, she would get that Corvette. I would probably get a little old school Beamer or, Mercedes from the 70s, kind of some Chevy Chase looking thing. And but for her, the Corvette would be the thing. And so 150 would get it. 50 grand won't get it done though, John. Not her Corvette. She's
Well, and the thing about it, and the appeal, a lot of people do play for the second chance opportunities. So this individual, a Tacoma Park man, as he's identified, was hoping to get into the second chance drawing, ends up winning the top prize.
150.
No, yeah, $150,000. Decided to come in, and of course he can remain anonymous. He chose the name Elmer Fudd to be his moniker when he came in. So he walked in very, very quietly.
Oh, hold on a second. You're saying that when I win, I could have like a CB handle if I want one?
You could, but Elmer Fudd's already been taken. I can picture this guy coming in with the little, the tartan plaid hat and the cartoon rifle, looking for wabbits.
Yeah, my CB name in the
wabbits.
70s was Rubber Band Man. When everybody played with the
Oh,
CB for 5 minutes in the 70s. I was 10 years old. I wasn't supposed to be on there. But
I kept the best story for last year. And again, all these stories and more at mdlottery.com. Couple vacationing from the great state of Ohio, more importantly, from the city of Cleveland.
I was going to say Bengals or Browns. I know the answer now. It's okay.
Visiting Ocean City, and it was unfortunately a rainy day, a rare rainy day in Ocean City. So they decided to go into the 7-Eleven and buy some scratch-off tickets. They're big. Actually, there was Powerball tickets they bought. They're big lottery players back in Ohio, and they thought, well, what the heck? Let's do this.
Powerball was like $1 billion a week ago, right?
It was, yeah, that's right. When they purchased it, it was a $1.08 billion jackpot that they were pursuing, and we were running a promotion at that point where certain games were triggered a free ticket, a free pick 5 ticket. So they get their free pick 5 ticket. Don't get ahead of me here. Bam, a winner on the free, not on the Powerball, on the pick 5 ticket, $50,000. Going back to Cleveland, laughing and enjoying the ride.
And watching the Browns for whatever that's worth. Let me ask you a question. You're a serious Ohio guy, because I've asked this to other people. As a kid, I would go to Ocean City in the 70s, and I never met anybody from Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. Philadelphia people would use the Jersey Shore, Wildwood, that sort of thing. Then all of a sudden, whatever Ocean City did, like in the 90s, they started marketing, I guess, Western Pennsylvania. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh people just started showing up at Steelers this on 9th Street on the boardwalk. And this is when the Ravens were born, that kind of story. Did people from Ohio, I mean, I'm being honest, did you know about Ocean City, Maryland, being from Ohio? Because I don't know where you go to lakes when you're from the Midwest, I guess, to some degree, or get on a plane or go to Disney World or whatever. It is fascinating to me that we always have thought of Ocean City as ours, but people from Cleveland go to Ocean City.
Of course they do, because they're just regular folks, Nestor, just like you and I.
They need a beach.
They need a beach, and of course, not to belittle the Chamber of Commerce from the great state of Ohio or the city of Cleveland, but it's difficult to market Lake Erie as the North Coast, and they did, and still do. So
they should call it the Gold Coast or something. Put a name on it.
Well, so I guess they're going for the geography, right? You had East Coast, West Coast. So let's make this the North Coast. And if you're trying to do that with Erie, Pennsylvania, and Buffalo, New York, you really have a marketing challenge. So yeah, I think people are aware of it, and I personally never aspired as a youngster to go to Ocean City.
See, we went down there for senior week. We were kids. Our parents took us down there. Jolly Rogers and I love Ocean City, and I think everybody should love Ocean City. And I have a great time but I often think why weren't there more people from Ohio? And sometimes you'd see them, the license plates on the way down there, whatnot. But Ocean City's for everybody. It's what makes our state great. We're America in miniature. I went through this with you last week about how great our state is.
Yes, and it's kind of like I think I've talked about Cedar Point before. So Cedar Point is a destination of amusement park. It was a variation on a theme, but nothing quite compares to Ocean City. Nothing quite compares to winning $50,000 on a rainy day.
in
in
Ocean
Ocean
City.
City.
Yeah,
But here's
absolutely. And
something that
coming
does
back to Ocean, they'll be coming back now. They got lucky there.
sure.
Every vacation will be in Ocean City. So we've
Oh,
won some
book
people
it.
over up there.
Book it. Book it. Here's something else you can book. The last one. I'm sorry. I said the last one was the last one. I
No,
lied.
that's all right. I got time.
This is the last one. We had remember earlier I started out by saying we had two tier 3 winners of
10,000.
not right for that. Well, here's a group that did play the mega player. It was a pooled group of Southern Maryland educators who bought their Powerball ticket, put their monies together. They purchased them both in Virginia and Maryland. They apparently do this when the jackpots rise. Great story. Again,
By
talk
the
about
way,
feel
if
good
they're
story.
educators, can I just stop in and say they're underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked? They're educators. So I just want to throw that in because I love
Well,
teachers.
good, because I think we're going to address two of the three right now.
Okay.
Because their ticket, Powerball ticket, was a tier 3 winner, which means you get 4 of the 5 white balls and you get the mega player ball, and that's a $10,000 win. And then it must have been a 5 times multiplier because they won $50,000
Nice.
to be split among 11 of them. And again, anonymous. Remember the Elmo Fudd reference from
Right.
before?
Exactly.
They chose their group name to be called
Mr.
One
Cotter? No.
Ball Short.
One ball short.
One
Okay.
Ball Short. Had I been in the room at the time, I would have counseled them to pick a different name.
I would have said Professor Cool, or I was thinking teachers, who are
Yeah.
cool teachers.
Yeah, because my juvenile mind goes in a whole nother direction when you pick a name like that. And
Well, I
that's
would have
probably
gone with
not.
Mr. Cotter or
There you
Arnold
go. Welcome
Rorschach
back.
or something like. Welcome back. There you go.
Well,
Absolutely.
welcome back.
Well, we've learned that you put the extra dollar down if you want to win, and we got more things happening. The state fair. I know you
Yes.
have big doings going on with the state fair, and again, I told you this last week. It felt like, John, why are we talking about the state fair? It's all the way at the end of summer, and we're in August. It's like a couple weeks away now.
It is. It's right there. And leading up to it, we have a number of other events. But let's talk briefly about the state fair, and then we'll talk about other events where you can find us between now and then. We always have a great presence there. We enjoy partnering with the folks at the state fair. And of course, as you're well aware, and your fans are as well, the format's changed a little bit. 3 consecutive weekends now, starting the weekend before Labor Day weekend, the weekend after Labor Day. And we'll have a presence each and every one of those weekends. But the big enchilada for us is that Friday, September 8th, when we award some lucky potential winner the chance to pick a prize from $100,000 up to $5 million. If they're lucky enough, they'll be playing a game there live in front of their family and friends at the state fair. We've got 8 of the 10 finalists already selected. Actually, tonight we'll pick the next 2. So we'll have our 10 finalists tomorrow morning. We'll start to
Nobody
reach
has to
out to
milk a
them.
cow or anything at the state fair, right? No.
Well, if we need a tiebreaker,
All right.
I'm not sure what options we have, but if we need a tiebreaker somewhere, tell old Bossy to get ready in the bullpen. Would you
I've
put a
never had
cow
a
in the
corn
bullpen?
dog in my life, and my wife beats me up about this all the time. At some point, if I have a corn dog, it's going to be at the state fair. I looked at him last year. We went to see Sticks at the state fair last year. The
Wow.
night that the Ravens opened the season, played Flacco. We went out there. Beautiful night. Love the fair. It's Timonium. It's great. Easy parking, easy in, great con. But I walked past that corn dog and I wanted it. So I mean, the fair, the games, the rides, and giving money away, you can't beat it.
You know what? Corn dogs have never been appealing to me, and maybe because I come from a different place and time. When remember in the mall there was the corn dog on a stick. That was
Yeah,
maybe before your time.
I've never had a corn dog in my life. I'm not bragging about it. It's never, there's always been like a slice of pizza or a pretzel or something
Yeah,
else that I would
yeah,
get.
yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb here and alienate the corn dog aficionados and say you're not missing much by not having a corn dog
Has
on a
anybody
stick.
ever had a great corn dog? You know what I mean? Like,
No,
man,
I don't think it goes. I don't think.
yeah,
But I tell you where you can find us between now and then. We'll be August 4th at Camden Park, Oriole Park at Camden Yards rather, and we are the opponent that day. Your New York Mets, or whatever's left of the New
whatever's
York
left
Mets.
of them. I was going to
I
say
don't know. That should be interesting. Get a
Mets
scorecard.
and prospects.
Get a scorecard for that game because you may not know who's on first.
Hey! As long as Buck's in the dugout, it's going to be an occasion around here.
We've talked about that. That's going to be interesting. So August 12th, then next weekend, we will be at the Ravens Eagles or Eagles I guess is probably the better way to say that. Ravens Eagles on August 12th, and we will be there in spirit and in person. So that's another fun event. Hey,
Bad
something that
news, the
popped up.
Eagles fans will be there too, I guess.
Oh, well, I suppose. Something that I saw on our calendar, and I'm not familiar with it. I don't know if you are, but and I don't know how many years they've done this. On August 13th, which is a Sunday, that afternoon, we will be in Pasadena at Kurt's Beach for the Made in Maryland Festival. Are you familiar with this event?
I've heard of this. Yes, it's a group of people, companies that make things in Maryland, right?
There you go. You broke the code. There it goes. Exactly what it is. But you can have local wines, craft brews, live music, Maryland wares, things are made, manufactured. My wife likes stuff like that.
Hold on, it's the 13th. I'm free that day, and the Orioles are in Seattle playing late. That sounds like, where is that?
Pasadena at Kurt's Beach. I'm not familiar with Kurt's Beach, but I will be. So, yeah, hitch up the wagon. We'd love to see all of our fans, both of them. Sure.
I don't get down to the Dina enough, and I got a lot of listeners, friends. I mean, Pasadena is sort of the Dundalk of Anne Arundel County. I mean, I'm being honest. I mean, it's got
Ooh,
yeah, it
nice.
is.
I
It
see what
is.
you
It
did there.
totally
Nice.
is. Some people would say Glen Burnie. No, no, no. I think I identify more with Pasadena, being Dundalk.
Wow, that's I've never heard it put in that term, and I don't know
Somebody will
that.
take that the wrong way, but that's okay. I meant
I
it.
was
I
going to
meant
say
it.
I don't know how the people in
No, no,
Pasadena.
no. I meant it as a complete compliment.
I'm sure you did.
I meant it
Don't
to
we
all the
always
people I've ever met from Pasadena.
don't we always mean things as compliments? I think for the most part.
I'm not Minnesota nice. I'm California
Well,
Bull or whatever that
yeah,
song is from SoundCloud.
yeah, yeah.
He is John Martin. He's the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and gaming. I haven't gamed with you yet, and we're playing a lot of play responsible ads this week as part of what we do with Great Kirk Van Zandt and the Maryland Lottery. I talk about it all the time, and I'm a little flippant about it, John, in my own way with baseball. You know that about me. That baseball was never a gambling sport in that way. Now it's Big Poppy's got a hose every night. Dangerous, and I think for all of us, we want people to have a good time. It's legal now, as are other things that we'll be talking about around here as well, that we should, we're all grown-ups here. If you're 21, you can buy booze. Doesn't mean you should do it all day, every day, obviously. Same thing with this new thing where mobile devices during games can become harmful and dangerous. And I know you're on the front end of educating people about, hey, play responsibly, have limits, have a plan. And that's the important part.
Every time we launch a new sports book, it gives us an opportunity to do that and re-educate the population. We have 21, 10 retail, 11 mobile sports books at the beginning of August. By the end of August, I fully expect we'll have four more, two more retail and two more mobile. So
Can I
we'll have.
plug that I'm at Greenmount Station next week?
You have not done that yet, so
I
please
don't
go
want
ahead.
you to do that because they're one of these partners that we're
Yes,
talking
yes, they
about
are.
here. So
Yes.
actually, Chris and Dave will be on next week. We're at Greenmount Station taking the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. So we just announced this on Wednesday the 9th. We'll be there 2 to 5. I got some great guests. We're doing some stuff with North Carroll, doing a big community turn. But nonetheless, that's one of the places we're talking about here, right? Like these
Absolutely.
places that have been waiting to get to mobile, waiting in line, and everybody's geared in on football season, right?
Right. And that's why we're seeing a little bit of activity here between now and the beginning of September. So we'll have four more sports books into the marketplace. We'll have then 25, hopefully by the time the NFL season kicks off, college football season kicks off. And then there may still be some stragglers through the rest of the calendar year. So
And
we
many of
still
these
have.
are places like Greenmount that they're maybe
Oh,
not
yeah.
here in Carroll County, but throughout the state, there are places trying to get compliant, right? Is that what we would
Yes.
call it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. They're still either maybe physically making changes to their location to build it out so that it has all the things that are required. It may be getting the right partners to do the sports book. So for a variety of reasons. So we're coming up on the first full year right before Thanksgiving. If you remember, it was Wednesday before Thanksgiving when mobile sports betting launched. We're not even 1 year into it. Um, but when we do launch it in that 1 year anniversary, we'll have hopefully somewhere between 25 and 30 sports books. And we still have others in the pipeline. And at this point, boy, the market shares are getting sliced real thin. I don't know the long-term prospects, but we'll continue to be out there with our responsible gaming messaging because it is an important part of what we do, and we want to make sure that people understand responsibilities and what it means in terms of playing games and having some fun, but being responsible.
Absolutely. We hope people come down to Costas, have some fun. We hope people are playing and having fun with $1.2 billion. And don't forget to play the extra buck, because I did that last week as well on behalf of my wife around here. John Martin is the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery Gaming. He comes on, has some fun. You're not going to like me when I bring I have a Clobber Cleveland sign, and I'm gonna gift it to you. I don't have many of them left. They're from 1996, but we do have a handful of all of this left. Copies of Purple Rain 1 and Purple Rain 2. We'll be giving those away at Costas as part of the Maryland Crab Cake Tour and the kickoff of our 25th anniversary. We're at Drug City on Friday from 11 to 4 at the Fountain. We'll be up at Greenmount Station next week. We are at Pappas in Glen Burnie with Anne Arundel County Executive Stuart Pittman. That is on Tuesday, the 29th of August. We're going to Hollywood in Perryville, the Hollywood Casino and Barstool Sports Restaurant on the 31st to kick off football season. And we are at Fadley's, and I've already got a bunch of guests for that. That's already in football season, September 15th. So the Maryland Crab Cake Tour is rolling on, where this jackpot is rolling on, Home Run Riches is rolling on, and the 50th anniversary of the Maryland Lottery. I'm going to drop the gavel, John. Did I cover everything here today?
We stand adjourned, Nestor.
All right, John Martin, Executive Director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. I will have my Raskin Global little crab claw mallet out with me at Costas. We'll be eating the big crabs. Our friends at Window Nation reminding you, 866-90 Nation. I love my windows. 1 year anniversary is this week of having them, especially on these hot days when they go up, they go down, they don't break. They're awesome. Cat likes looking at the screen. It's all good. I will see everyone in Dundalk this week. Play responsibly. I'm Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking Baltimore positive and $1 billion.